Well, the virus has now killed more than 100 people in China, and new cases have been confirmed around the world.
So you don't want to frighten the American public.
France and South Korea have also got evacuation plans.
But you need to prepare for and assume.
Strongly warning Americans to avoid all non-essential travel to China.
That this is going to be a real serious problem.
France, Australia, Canada, the US, Singapore, Cambodia, Vietnam, the list goes on.
Health officials are investigating more than 100 possible cases in the U.S.
Germany, a man has contracted the virus.
The epidemic is a demon, and we cannot let this demon hide.
Japan, where a bus driver contracted the virus.
Coronavirus has killed more than 100 people there and infected more than 4,500.
We have to prepare for the worst, always, because if you don't and the worst happens.
War Room Pandemic. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Live from our nation's capital, this is War Room Pandemic. It is Saturday, the 19th of September, the year of our Lord 2020. Obviously, massive breaking news last night, the death of Associate Justice Ginsburg. Finally passed away after a long struggle with many illnesses. A brilliant woman, a brave woman, the best friend on the court of Justice Scalia. She was the anchor of the intellectual left on the court. And I will say it has caused already in this city, which is now girding itself for the 3 November election. And so we've said a civil war will start that night with the Democrats trying to steal the election from President Trump. What's happened over the last 24 hours, that whole aspect is going to be pulled forward to President Trump's, when President Trump actually nominates somebody. We're going to get into all that. This is our Saturday special, the CCP's attack against America. We're very fortunate. We're going to have Milesguo up in a minute, one of the founders of the New Federal State, the spiritual leader of the whistleblower movement, and what has done such a tremendous job of warning America about exactly what's going on. Rudy Giuliani, the mayor, will be currently scheduled to be in the war room to talk about the CCP, but obviously we'll be talking to him about the Supreme Court. He's down, and obviously here in D.C., as the president's lawyer, I'm sure to see the president of the United States, and I know they're working around the clock about this, about what's going on with the Supreme Court pick. Also, Sidney Powell, General Flynn's lawyer and probably the leading conservative light out there with everything legally. Sidney Powell, we're going to try to get her too, maybe in this hour, with breaking news on really what, if you think about it, you couldn't end this year with the pandemic, really with impeachment, with the pandemic, with what the CCP's doing, with the election, and now, and why this is so important, particularly for our international audience, is that this would shift a selection of a conservative would shift the basis of the court for literally decades to come. And this is why we've had such an emotional breakdown of people on the left, that this is not even rational, it's emotional. Now the controversy gets around not just the selection of a associate justice, but the fact that this is an election year, and now we're 46 in a wake up to election day. So this is going to be big. John Fredericks Radio Network, Real America's Voice, which is now Comcast Chicago Channel 113, Dish Channel 219 throughout the nation. Also the Newsmax TV, Chris Ruddy and the team, over 70 million homes. G News and GTV in Mandarin, and then Roku, Pluto, Facebook. We're everywhere. The podcast now almost 14.5 million downloads on the podcast. This is episode 395, and I want to get to Miles, but I will tell you, and I know Vish and Jack are going to be coming to social media later. Ever since last night, everything now in the city is just about the Supreme Court pick. And, you know, the Supreme Court's had a vigil overnight by, I think, thousands of people that just came in, not just a place of honor for Justice Ginsburg, but already the triggering. This is triggered. So everybody, and we're going to start a nationwide tour on Monday in Midtown Manhattan at the University Club.
The Women's National Republican.
Even classier, the Women's National Republican, right there near Rockefeller Center, right across the street. The famous. Wow, I spoke there years ago. This is a big deal. National tour on the plot to steal 2020, and we'll have a major update on all of this about the Supreme Court pick. It doesn't get bigger. It doesn't get more high stakes. So stay tuned. We'll have breaking news throughout the day and obviously every day. I want to turn now to Milesguo. Miles, in a second, I want to get to you. We also wake up this morning with Keith Kroc, who is Mike Pompeo's wingman. Mike Pompeo, the fearless Secretary of State, that the CCP has gone and made this special show, and they have their organs, their propaganda organs, calling him a fat pig, and they've had this show that you were so great in the G News and GTV were so great to show us that really just ripped Pompeo apart. Pompeo's right-hand man, Undersecretary Keith Kroc, announces a trip to Taiwan. By the time he lands, I mean, they're strafing Taiwan with fighter planes, bombers, all of that. And now the Global Times has been in our face. But before we get to that, I want to wait. Jack Maxey's pulling some stuff together. We're going to get to that in a second. Right now, with the Supreme Court pick, Miles, and I know you don't get involved in domestic politics as a foreign national, but on the social media side, we've already seen all night, the social media side is really lit for what's happening on the left. And I mean, it's going to become a major part. I want to go back to Dr. Yan. I was on Tucker last night or the other night talking about this. What happened to Dr. Yan is kind of a preview. I think it's what's going to happen here, and this is the power of these social media platforms. We've already had the United States government. We'll get into a second about WeChat and TikTok. That decision's coming tomorrow. The decision of the Supreme Court's probably coming tomorrow. I mean, this weekend is going to be all news all the time. It's just insane. But here's what I think the American people don't fully understand yet, and we would love you to help us walk through this. This happened to you. You came to America several years ago, and I knew about you before in the White House before I ever met you. And then in meeting you, one thing I noticed is that you were saying things about the Chinese Communist Party, but you were particularly not just doing it for the Chinese people. You were warning America. You were warning America that there's an all-out war by the senior cadres of the Chinese Communist Party against the United States of America. Not just against the Chinese people, against the United States of America. And it's by technology, it's by economics, it's by infiltration, it's about influence peddling. But most importantly, you were saying, hey, the social media, you get pulled down on YouTube. You got canceled on Twitter. This is back in 2016, 2017. Then we see Dr. Yan come forward, this brave, heroic world hero, and she talks about the process of what happened in Beijing, in Wuhan, about what the CCP knew and when they knew it, in the cover-up. But she also is a brilliant doctor that does this analysis and puts it out for the world to see. Twitter, she has the biggest rise in Twitter from no followers to 59,000, and then she's pulled down. And then Tucker Carlson has the biggest show he's ever had internationally, in China particularly, Australia, all over, and Facebook pulls that down. So in this CCP's attack against America, Miles, what can you tell us about the American social media? Are they in cahoots with the CCP? They've tried to silence you, but you went and built your own platform and have gone through them. And one of the reasons War Room's so big is that, we draft off that platform. And everybody can't build their own platform, but Dr. Yan comes, and one of the things we're talking to people in America is this is what's going to happen in America on Election Day. If these people don't like your voice, if they don't like what you have to say, with Dr. Yan, they never refuted what she had to say. They just pulled her down. They just said it's fake news. With Milesguo, they never refuted what he said about H&A. They never refuted what he said about Anbon Insurance Company. They just took him down because they deem it fake news. So, Miles, tell the American people what is up with these American companies that look like running dogs for the Chinese Communist Party.
Good morning, America War Room. Sir Steve K. Bannon. I'm really proud of go back is the war room, join the this today and Saturday, the show. I think the social media in the world, not is number 2, number 3 power. I think social media is now and the future is number 1, is the power in the world. Example, CCP, last 15 years is inside. Every time important meetings they talk, this is not a secret. You see, in the future, we are the power-based 5 weapon. Number 1 weapon is social media. Number 2 weapon is economy. Number 3 weapon is American. It's very important. It's called dollars. Okay, that's very important. Number 4 is a biological weapon and a chemical weapon. Number 5, propaganda. So now you look at America, sir. In the number 1 weapon is social media, Twitter, Facebook, Google. They're all the social media. You look at Zuckerberg and Twitter is the Chinese spy control. So number 1, the world social media weapon by CCP, full control in America. Number 2, economy, Wall Street is a full control by CCP. The dollar, okay, the currency is full, is CCP try to take down America. Now it's not full control. Hollywood, propaganda is full control by CCP. Number 5, biological weapon and chemical weapon is now used in the entire world. So now, sir, but you need now the 5 weapon, 4 weapon, all the American control the power. Everything says in America. Now you look at CCP, do everything, hack the world, attack the world, use the 5 weapon, social media weapon, biological weapon, chemical weapon, propaganda weapon, not from China. It's from America. So everything the reason, fundamentally, you look at Wall Street and Silicon Valley, Hollywood, DC. So everything you talk about the CCP, you talk about China, you need to ask. Fundamentally, the reason that's from where? From here, Wall Street, Hollywood, Biological Valley, DC. Another side, social media, how big power? You can dive the yen. That's crazy. You look at the tiger, is we are all the Chinese love him, like the show. Fox is very, courage, interview her. Just try to give the people know more the truth, right? Even you say her talk lie is fake, please show evidence. But American number 1 power because the Constitution law first, right, is everybody kind of free speech. But Facebook and Twitter, also Google, some area, you take it down. This is the Tiger Fox show. It shocked me, but I know that definitely can happen because CCP don't want the American know the truth. Social media, America, Twitter, Google, YouTube, and it's Facebook, they don't want to know the truth. Behind is some another black reason. Another is the reason is because driven by profit. So this is why American now is go to disaster. Also, you look at American inside any trouble, who give the money? Who is in the social media make this bigger, bad something happen? Behind, look at everything. You can look at the Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Silicon Valley, the show tools power. So now, Silicon Valley people, leaders go to China, same with the president. Okay, get all the CCP people really admire. They can do everything. Go to nightclub, play any young girls, any Xinjiang girls, Tibet girls. This is why you like fly to China. They go to China and stay with the king. Every night sleep with the nightclub. From with China, 54 nationality girls. All the night with them together. Second, they can want any money, right? They can enjoy everything. 3, they can make a big deal.
Miles, can you hang on for 1 second? We've just got a break for a commercial break. A commercial break, and we're going to come right back. Milesguo, the 5 weapons of the CCP. That would be social media, it'd be the economy, it'd be propaganda, it'd be biological weapons, it'd be the U.S. dollar. Silicon Valley, Hollywood, Wall Street, all converging with the CCP. Milesguo, founder of the new federal state of China, will return on war and pandemic in a moment.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and as you know, my passion is to help each and every one of you get the best sleep of your life. That's why I created my new Giza Dreams bed sheets. I guarantee you they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best sleep of my life.
They are so soft and smooth. I never slept so good.
I fall asleep faster because I'm actually comfortable.
I started by using the world's best cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region between the Sahara Desert, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Nile River. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable, which is why I can give you my full 10-year warranty. But I didn't stop there. My Giza sheets also include full 21-inch wide pillowcases that will fit over any pillow and deep pocket sheets that will fit over any mattress. I guarantee you the first night you sleep on my sheets, you'll never want to sleep on anything else.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now. MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets are available in a variety of colors and will be the softest, most comfortable sheets you will ever own. Use the promo code and get 2 for 1 low price, plus free shipping. Giza Dreams are made with the finest, most sought-after cotton in the world. Giza cotton was once reserved for only the finest dress shirts, but is now available in Mike's Giza Dream Sheets. They feature a beautiful silky sateen weave that helps keep you cool and comfortable all night long.
With the Giza Dream Sheets, I'm getting the best rest of my life.
I love my Giza Dream Sheets.
Go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen right now to get your very own MyPillow Giza Dream Sheets. Use the promo code and Mike will give you a very special 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. That's right, get 2 for 1 low price and free shipping. Call or go online now.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
My son needs this drug. I hope it doesn't cost too much. I hope my insurance pays for it. Can you tell me how much this will be?
$67.
Sorry.
Wait, have you heard about GoodRx? GoodRx finds free coupons to help you save up to 80% on your prescriptions.
Wow. I had no idea.
GoodRx. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions.
War Room with Stephen K. Bannon. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Make us Saturday special edition of the CCP's attack on America. We have breaking news, and we are going to have Mayor Rudy Giuliani be in studio at 11 o'clock to talk about the CCP and different aspects of this that he's seeing. Obviously, he's going to also talk about the Supreme Court. Major breaking news overnight, as everybody knows. Justice Ginsburg is dead, and the question is, will there be a vote? Will there be a replacement prior to the November 3rd election? If this year couldn't get any more high drama or any crazier, we've now stuck another new element in, which is going to be wild. We've got Sidney Powell, the prominent Republican conservative lawyer. General Mike Flynn's lawyer is going to join us here in this hour for an update. I want to go back to Milesguo. Miles, on the CCP's attack against America, I think people saw it in full motion. What shocked most Americans the other day was that Twitter and Facebook took Dr. Yan down, but they didn't take down the Global Times. They didn't take the Wu Mao 50 Cent Army. They didn't take the... She was a barrage of social media, Facebook, of Twitter, of all of it, just anti-Dr. Yan, with no defenses because they took her account down. And they took Tucker. Tucker's the biggest, the most powerful show in the United States. He doesn't have a big international audience, GTV, G News, the other platforms, and Facebook, when they started to do it, people in China all over the world are saying, wow, look at this Dr. Yan talking about the biological weapon. Stripped down immediately. And relentless attacks on Tucker Carlson, relentless attacks on Dr. Yan, completely defenses, and not a peep out of the liberals here that try to protect free speech. We're trying to show China and the world that, hey, rule of law, democracy, the Constitution, and we're failing miserably. I think you've just shocked my Twitter's my text is blown up. We want to get everybody in hashtag War and Pandemic. We're live today in the live stream. Jumping in here, you said the Chinese Communist Party, which many people look at as either as powerful as the United States or even arguably more powerful than the United States, getting very aggressive in military. We're going to do Taiwan here in a minute. You're saying that when they look at the world, their 5 weapons, you know what you didn't name in the weapons? Anything militarily. This is Sun Tzu, defeat the enemy before the shooting starts. What has already got my thing blowing up is that you said, hey, when they sit down and talk, gentlemen, the number one weapon is not their planes, is not their nuclear weapons, is not their aircraft carriers, is not the PLA 5 million man army. It's social media. It's the Wu Mao 50 Cent army. So, Miles, and going back to those 5 weapons, particularly today when we're seeing this on the Supreme Court, and by the way, you're about to be engulfed, and you're in America right now, a firestorm is about to start. A firestorm that's going to be before the 3rd November vote, and that is what's going to happen with the President of the United States will nominate, I guarantee you, tomorrow or Monday, someone to get these hearings rolling like ASAP. Social media on fire. With all the weapons in the world, Miles, nuclear weapons, military, armies, aircraft, space, how can the CCP pick, why do they pick social media as their number one weapon of choice?
Sir, we talk about this, it's really upside. American look is lose control. You look at before, 9 months ago, we are together talk about is the coronavirus. No social media talk everything. Even we send it to public, try use YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, they immediately take down, right? Then we go back, it's 2 years ago, we talk HNA, we talk TikTok, we talk WeChat. Even we talk this, they immediately take down. Then 3 years ago, I talk HNA, and people die, get murders, killed, and inside the CCP have the BGY, 3F program. Every time we try to use the social media, they take it down. That's 3 years ago. If American listen to me, press conference is in the DC, I say American must be careful and watch the world. CCP, the black cloud coming in our country. They try wear America, make America unstable, try kill America. Even social media is to follow the American rule of the law. Give me free speech. I take the full responsibility. American government can make more people wake up. Is maybe early can know that something happened. Maybe not today the coronavirus. But the Facebook, social media, why they 3 years ago is the more than 10 times take down my Twitter account same. And one day more than 50,000 people follow me. Only 1 week. 400,000 people, 300,000 people follow me. They immediately take down my Twitter account. And YouTube, they stop my broadcast. And Facebook, only 20 hours, immediately take down my Facebook. This is 3 years ago happened for me. But now you look at Dr. Yan, try to give Americans some truth, help the world, rescue the people. But now, something happened. But this is after me, 3 years after, America, 200,000 people died, 26 million all the global people get the coronavirus infect, CCP virus infect. Now, sir, American must be asked, Silicon Valley, who do this? Who behind the control? Why? You look at the Congress hell. Oh, I I want to, listen, hearing, Sir Zuckerberg, I want to, ask in Twitter. That's totally wrong. American now big trouble to bureaucracy. Every is the politician people, cheater is the common people. You look at the 9 months ago, it's the coronavirus coming in America. Do you see anything real action can anti the CCP virus? A government, no one person really action protect American life more secure. Everybody speech, talking camera. Nobody really action can stop American people die. CCP lie. Why CCP can lie? Who can make a CCP lie? Because of social media. Why CCP lie? Nobody can stop the CCP lie. Social media. Who killed America? Not the CCP. Not only CCP. America, social media, Wall Street, Hollywood, DC, this is the politician guy. This American now is lose control. America is a great country. American people is very hard work, very honest, very loyalty, very good. But now, you look from the CCP virus, and from the CCP story job, and the economy, 5 weapons. You look at CCP, inside always 5 strategy. Inside, outside 5 weapons. Outside, why is American hawk? 5 weapons, money, technically, social media, propaganda, all your American support behind. There's no American is the support behind. CCP cannot in outside have 5 weapons. Inside, they have 5 strategy, build cyber firewall, don't want the Chinese know outside. They are social media, full control. They are taking all the money, make a hard job for America, sell the cheaper underwear, cheaper shoes, Nike shoes. Then it's take all the money, make the Chinese no health care, no social system, and torture everybody, arrest everybody, nerve them, Who, how CCP can do the inside the 5 strategy? Inside the 5 strategy, to the people.
Miles. Yeah, Miles, hang on. We got about 3 minutes left in this segment. I want to make sure we're bringing up one point. As the social media has been pulling down, they wouldn't cover when you guys were talking about it in January about where this thing came from. They pulled down Dr. Yan. At the same time, you have TikTok and WeChat here, unlimited in the United States. Tell the American people, what's the danger of having TikTok, WeChat, others, not just to control the Chinese people, but actually have access to American data?
They know. 3 years ago, I talked to all the American, FBI, CIA people. TikTok, Zoom, don't forget the Zoom. Zoom, I now get 50 million money, go to DC, lobby in. They move out the Zoom. And Brad is more aggressive. Brad Zoom, because pay 50 million every each. Go to the DC, lobby in. They move out the Zoom, move out the Brad. Then it's WeChat, TikTok. They steal your privacy information. They use the information, threaten you. They call information warfare. That's why DC, so many liars in the DC. They know Zoom, Brad, worse this the TikTok and the WeChat, but they don't want to do because other people get lobby money. Now, too late. TikTok and WeChat, because you are near election, you take down the TikTok, WeChat. You not for American people safer. You don't want to protect the American people. You are everything because you are driven by election. That's terrible. This is America now. Everything is a two-party fight. CCP use you in fight pendulum. Now, because you election, you are taking down the TikTok and this is the WeChat. You too late. Many American people die because you too late. Take down the TikTok and the WeChat. You need action too. Don't only speech. You look at all the DC. Everybody speak the camera. I want, will. Never action now. That's why 9 months ago we talk about coronavirus. Now American people, how many people die? Who take the responsibility? American people die. CCP lie. Why CCP line. Who helped CCP line here kill American people die, sir?
Miles, we got to go to a quick commercial break. Milesguo laying it down about we're not shutting down these Chinese apps and Chinese technology companies, and American companies are shutting down American voices. We're going to return Milesguo in a moment.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Thanks to your support, you've helped make MyPillow become one of the fastest growing companies in America. Over the last 12 years, you've helped MyPillow create thousands of jobs right here in the USA.
When I got my pillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
That's why I invented MyPillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs and helps keep your neck supported and aligned. I'm interrupting this commercial right now to give you deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but also my mattress toppers, sheets, and so much more. For example, you can get body pillows regularly $89.99, only $29.99 with your promo code. With our 60-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Sleep well, America!
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Hi, Hunter Ellis here for Night Hero Binoculars by Atomic Beam. These binoculars let you see anything, even in pitch black darkness. Gotcha.
The secrets are powerful wide-angle atomic beam laser that reveals objects up to 150 yards away, hidden by darkness.
During the day, Night Hero gives you 10 times magnification. And when the sun goes down, press the Night Bright button to see clearly in the dark. Light up garbage-eating critters or spot thieves before they even get close. Call or click now and get Night Hero binoculars with laser illumination technology for just $39.99. You'll also get a protective carrying case, yours free. Order right now and you can double it. Plus, get our best-selling atomic beam flashlight, just pay separate fee. We'll even ship them to you free. You can get it all, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-788-1008. That's 1-800-788-1008. Or visit bynighthero.com. That's bynighthero.com. Order now.
Frustrated with heavy rubber hoses that always get tangled and easily kink? Introducing the Bionic Flex Pro hose, the super strong, super tough hose that's ultra light as well. Run over an ordinary hose and it'll easily burst, but the Bionic Flex Pro hose stays intact no matter what runs over it, because its reinforced drag-resistant commercial-grade outer polyester weave makes it tougher and stronger than ever. And its solid brass fittings are crush-proof too. Ordinary hoses kink easily and stop working, but the Bionic Flex Pro hose never kinks. It just keeps flowing strong. And while regular hoses easily get tangled, the Bionic Flex Pro hose is tangle-proof. You can get the 25-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose for just $19.95 with free shipping. But wait, order today and we'll upgrade your order to a 50-foot Bionic Flex Pro hose. Just pay a separate fee, and shipping is still free. Go now.
Call 1-800-313-8062.
War Room with Stephen K. Bannon. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Welcome back. It's a Saturday, but man, what a weekend that we're starting off. Associate Justice Ginsburg passes away last night. Already, there's a all-night vigil over at the Supreme Court there outside of Mitch McConnell's house. This is going to be fully lit, ladies and gentlemen. We can tell you about social media. We've had Milesguo, the founder of the new federal state of China and one of the biggest dissidents in the world, talking about social media is the number one weapon of the Chinese Communist Party against the United States. Jack, by the way, hashtag war and pandemic. You're on fire also in the live chat. Want to get more comments. One of our listeners absolutely nails when we talk about Guo, talk about Yan, talk about these people, these defectors that have left and are putting the light on the Chinese Communist Party, what they're doing here in the United States.
Yeah, and it's a big tell for all of our American listeners. He asked the rhetorical question. So do you remember when we used to celebrate dissidents from communist countries, and today we participate in the suppression of their voices?
This is what Guo was saying the first thing. I mean, when Solzhenitsyn used to come over here, it was a national event. People would come over here, it would be national events. Right now, they go on Tucker Carlson, the biggest show in America, and this Twitter shuts them down. Facebook shuts them down internationally. Guo's warning to America 3 years ago, if we'd listened to this, you wouldn't have had the pandemic problem. He told you at the time, and he's telling you now the number one weapon is not the aircraft carriers, not the nuclear weapons. He says number one weapon, they say this, is social media. And we got TikTok, WeChat. They're sucking up every piece of data, every person in the United States. He's warned about this a couple of years ago. He says these Chinese companies are in here taking up all the data. They're going to be the Saudi Arabia data. It's absurd. I want to go now to one of the most prominent voices in America, Sidney Powell. We've known her for a long time, but, man, she stepped up. General Flynn's lawyer and also the author of a book you got to read, License to Lie, which really shocks America about what's really going on in our justice system and with our Justice Department, the FBI, all of it. Sidney, today, this city's about to go through meltdown, and I think people want to hear your voice and your perspective on where we stand with the Supreme Court. What would you recommend as a process? Your judgment, as people turn to you and look for your judgment, what would you recommend to the president right now that he do in regards to this Supreme Court vacancy?
Well, I certainly think the president should go ahead and make a nomination, and the Senate should vote on it. There's plenty of precedent for doing that. We have the Senate, and we have the same party president, and that's when it can and should proceed, as it has done many times in history. Justice Ginsburg was an icon. I thought a lot of her, although I disagreed with her on some things. She was a key vote to reverse Arthur Anderson when Andrew Weissman had screwed it up. So she's in the book for that, and for acting on the honest services statute. She set the law straight on that point and wrote that decision when the government prosecutors like Weissman and Leslie Caldwell and Lisa Monaco had all abused it. And she's done a lot of good things. So she's important to replace, and the Supreme Court's going to need all its manpower to decide many of the crucial issues that are coming before it in the next months and years.
This is what I want to drill down on. We've been saying that President Trump's going to win the game day vote on November 3rd, but they've signaled. I mean, and not signaled. They've talked about the war room. They've got Eric Holder's running it. They've got 800 attorneys. They got Perkins Coie. They've got solicitor generals, U.S. attorneys. Lawfare is going to be. They're going to go in with these 60 or 80 million ballots by the pound, and you're going to need. The Supreme Court just can't be 4-4, can it? I mean, we have a necessity driven by their causing mass hysteria among. Look, we've been on pandemic here since January. We're one of the foremost experts in this, and we don't downplay this. We get to the heart of it, but they've had mass hysteria. Their voters aren't going to show up. In your opinion, is it a necessity to get the 5-4 court now because of all these issues that are going to come up with the campaign, not the huge issues facing the country legally? I'm talking just the interim of how the 2020 campaign is actually going to be decided.
Well, any and all of the above require a full Supreme Court. I think it's absolutely imperative that a justice be named as soon as possible to replace Justice Ginsburg. The court needs its full capacity to do its work. It should never be held up like this when we have a president who is fully capable and should and will be reelected, judging by the public expressions nationwide all the time. I mean, the 3 cars for a Biden parade and tens of thousands for a Trump parade. Everybody can see that Trump is and should be reelected. He's done an amazing job for this country. And we've got to have a full Supreme Court to deal with the issues that are going to come before it. You're right about everything you just said. They're planning this. They have gamed it. They have strategized it to the hilt, and they're putting all the money and resources behind it. They want to throw everything into litigation and cause as much disruption as they can to keep the inauguration from happening because they know he's going to be reelected. The only thing they have is their fraudulent mail-in ballots.
Sidney, right now, social media is in meltdown. I'm telling you about this, and they're really throwing down the gauntlet, daring the president to do this, and using the Merrick Garland situation. In your mind, do they have an argument about this whole thing about election years, and is there enough time between now and November? In your professional opinion, do their arguments, not the emotional arguments, but their legal or precedent or historical institution arguments hold up?
No, their arguments don't, because the Merrick Garland situation was most unusual. We knew the president was going to change. It absolutely had to change because Obama was leaving office. So there was going to be a new president no matter what, and the Senate was held by a different party than the party in power in the White House. We've got a very different scenario now. Everyone knows President Trump is and should be reelected, and we hold the Senate and the White House. He has a duty to fill that position, and social media can just melt down all it wants.
Sydney, how do people want to really thank you? I know you fit this in today, and people want to hear your voice. We're very honored to have you on this morning. How do people follow you on social media? How do people get more access to you? Because you've become probably the most prominent voice in the conservative legal community.
Thank you. I'm on Twitter at Sidney Powell, the number 1, and my website is sydneypowell.com, Sydney with an I, SIDNEY. And people can sign up for updates from my website. We don't inundate them, but when something happens in the Flynn case or whatever, we'll shoot out an update.
Just last thing. If you were in the Oval today, you would tell the president, pull the trigger and let's get on with this?
Definitely. Yes, he has the right and the duty to appoint a Supreme Court justice. I don't see any reason to wait. And I think the average time from appointment or nomination to conferment is about 45 days. So we've got time.
Sidney Powell, thank you very much for taking time away from your busy day to join us.
Thank you all.
We're going to turn back to Milesguo, but you've got an update, Jack, real quickly on Hugo Black.
Well, Hugo Black was nominated by President Roosevelt in the summer of 1937. He was nominated on the 12th on a Wednesday, and he was confirmed on the 17th on a Monday. Now, even more than that, you had James F. Burns, who was another person nominated by Roosevelt, and he was nominated in the morning and confirmed but 2 hours later with a voice vote from the Senate. This is what happens when you have 75% control of these houses in the Roosevelt administration. But let's remember that our history is a broad one, and they're trying to define Donald Trump's actions or actions he hasn't even taken yet as if they are somehow outside the bounds of our history, and they are absolutely not.
We're going to play, when Rudy's here, some of the social media. It's in full meltdown. Our guests want to turn back now to Milesguo. And I think for many Americans, they've been caught by surprise of how powerful this social media presence has become and how powerful it's used against Americans, right? Milesguo has told us at the opening of the show, this is the number one weapon. Didn't say it was a tool, didn't say it was something they could use to better mankind. When they have 5 weapons against the United States, and not one of them is a plane, a spacecraft, a death beam, a nuclear weapon. He said it's social media. And if you combine what else they got, the propaganda, Hollywood, everything they're saying, it's an incredible tool. Miles, what would you recommend? And the other thing is this whole thing of all the Chinese, the CCP companies. It was Milesguo that told people years ago, hey, you guys are kidding yourself. All of these companies are controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. All of these companies are controlled by the PLA. Huawei is 100% PLA. In fact, he said it's not associated with the PLA. It's the PLA's technology arm. Stop being ridiculous. He told us, Milesguo is the first guy who said, hey, Jack Ma is a member of the Communist Party. You could read the prospectus. The prospectus was 4 feet thick, okay? And when Alibaba went public. 4 feet thick. Not one mention of Jack Ma being with the Communist Party. Milesguo says the guy's been in the Communist Party forever. But they're the guys that put him in the company. Guess what? When Jack Ma gets broomed, right? When he does the Michael Jackson dance off to the side, guess what he drops on us? Hey, I've been a member of the Chinese Communist Party since I was a young pioneer, like at the age of 3, right? Miles, why? It's got to be very frustrating. Why do you think that you come out with these warnings? H&A's a fraud, now it's in bankruptcy. Anbang Insurance Company, I just saw the other day, Anbang Insurance Company is in receivership in China. Milesguo 2 years ago, it's a fraud, it's a fake. right? It's just an influence peddling operation to spread money into the West to buy real estate in Midtown Manhattan. Miles, why do you think the West is so asleep? Why do you think our fellow countrymen, why is mass media, why is mainstream media, when you and Dr. Yan and others and Luda came out in January and said, hey, this is a weapon. We got about 2 minutes. Why do you think the West and the media is asleep here?
Sir, I want to give you one story. 2017 January, I starting as a whistleblower. 2016, last time phone call by Unbound founder is Wu Xiaohui. This guy is him buy is the Manhattan. It's at the hotels. This very
Waldorf Astoria.
In the hotel. First time she call me. So Miles, I want to talk to you. I try buy at the Fox, the television TV by Fox. I want to talk Murdoch by the Fox TV. Tonight I have the dinner with Krishna and Ivanka. We have a big dinner. Also, Miles, do you like we are come together as by CNN, and then put the CNN Fox together? I said, why you want to buy this? He said, CCP want to control all the America social media. We are getting ready. Jack Ma, WeChat, and Twitter, and YouTube, all that we can control. Now we need to control influence, CNN, Fox. We need to put it together. I said, you're crazy, impossible. This is the last time call is by Wu Xiaohui. And IGNA is Chen Feng, the guy in the Harvard speech. You remember the video, him say, will 3-5 years, all the America serious media want we are investment. Will we are investment American, New York Times, and maybe CNN, maybe Fox. Now the two company, I with blue, there's a two group, $1 trillion company is
Miles, can you hang on 1 second? We got to take a short commercial break. We're going to come back and finish this story. Milesguo talking about buying, Anbon trying to buy CNN and Fox and merge them. We'll be back with Milesguo to finish the story in just a second.
Brett Favre, legendary quarterback. Jerry Rice, legendary wide receiver.
You ready for your weekly meeting?
Yeah, we're ready.
Let's do this. Let's stack the deck.
When legends play, they wear Copperfit Advanced Back Pro. Copperfit's best-selling compression back support just got better with new double-band adjustable supports for customizable compression when you need it most.
Since I put this on, I feel so much better. The core is the most important thing. To know that I'm stabilized here. Whatever I'm doing, I can give it 100%.
4 built-in stabilizing supports designed to improve posture and help reduce lower back stress and strain.
You have back pain, and it's affecting your everyday life. You do something.
If you can find something to help you get back out and be active like Copperfit, go for it.
Absolutely.
Do not give up. A high-performance compression fabric infused with the powerful properties of copper, 360-degree flexible mobility, and lightweight, durable construction.
Nothing more painful than having back pains. If you're aching, if you feel like you can't work out anymore, you can. And that's with Copperfit.
Yeah. It's for all of us who still want to be active, still want to compete.
Way to go. That's what I'm talking about. Man, this really does feel good. It feels to me like the fountain of youth.
Copperfit's best-selling back support just got bigger, badder, and better. Or call 1-800-944-5851. Or on the web at advancedbackpro.com. Get yours now for only $19.99.
This does feel good.
That's what I've been saying.
You think it was fair?
It was fun.
Play for the love of the game.
Copperfit, live limitless.
This is the kind of card that has America talking. With it, people with Medicare are getting all-in-one coverage for their doctor visits, hospital care, prescription drugs, and more. This kind of insurance, called Medicare Part C, may also cover dental care, eyeglasses, hearing aids, fitness programs, vitamins, even healthy meals and rides to the doctor. With this kind of coverage, you do not need a Medicare supplement insurance plan. You will access your benefits through your Medicare Part C plan for one low and oftentimes $0 monthly plan premium. You deserve to get the most from your Medicare benefits. Call now for free information that may help you get more coverage for less money. There is no obligation to enroll, whether for yourself or someone you love. Call the number on the screen now. Call now.
War Room with Stephen K. Bannon. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Welcome back. War and pandemic. Quite a day here in Washington, D.C. The death of Associate Justice Ginsburg. We had Sidney Powell on giving her thoughts. She said if she was in the Oval, tell the president, pull the trigger. Let's get on with it. Monday, let's start. Rudy Giuliani, the mayor, is going to be joining us here momentarily. Want to finish. We've got Milesguo. Miles, with H&A, I want to continue this story, but one thing I want to put in the American people's mind, at one time, this company, privately held, may have had a value of almost $1 trillion. The scale of it was so big. It was buying so many American companies that owned 20% of Deutsche Bank. Continue story, but I want to make sure people know the power of this, the power it was buying American companies, the ability to have influence peddling, the ability to do money laundering, the ability to take money from hard-earned Lao Beijing and funnel it back into the United States, to basically controlled by Wan Xishan. As you brought up on Voice of America, the ambassador called over and pulled the plug on your live interview because you're saying, hey, this is not owned by the Chinese people anymore. It's owned by Wan Xishan through 2 C4s registered in New York State. So explain to people the power of H&A and what influence it had.
Sir, good question. H&A is the #1 in the world, fast, improved company, growth company. Every day, 20,000 times growth, 20 times growth. There's 5 years ago, before it's just $10 million. Last year, this totally control $3 trillion. They are control all the China, everywhere real estate, called Bohai, Bohai is a holding word. It's the 10 trillion RMB. They are investing to America. Anbang, #1 insurance company, 5 years ago, 0. After 3 years, they control 9 trillion RMB by Deng Xiaoping family. So all this Wang Qishan control and the Deng Xiaoping family control the called PLA. Then all the money move to America. They buy everything. In front of Manhattan, Central Park, here 1,000 apartments is by Anbang control, and it's the H&A control. Still there. Anbang buys the World of Hotel. They move all the president meeting in there. That's why America need to ask, why H&A and Anbang in America so aggressive? It's investment. And why investment to America never have criminal? No, never get investigation. H&A is BGY, make a Robert and Barber, America officially members. I can guarantee H&A and Bank in America have billions of dollars money laundering and give American official members. Why America, nobody investigation H&A and Bank insurance company? That's crazy. They how can buy? It's the hotel. Why they want to buy Fox, buy CNN? They will buy all the newspaper, also called Forbes magazine. Who make the deal? Who behind taking the money? How big money go to the American government? Why is H&A can sir?
I want to quickly go. By the way, we're gonna our out music, and we would ask you if you could stay over. Understand, we're gonna get Rudy here in a minute, the mayor, but we'd love you to stay over for the 11 o'clock. And we're gonna finish this with your song, your music. But hang on, I just want to. We've got about a minute before we go to the song. I want to tee up for the next segment. The chairman of H&A also died mysteriously by falling off a wall at a church in Provence. and you sat there and said, he didn't fall off a wall. A guy was killed. He was murdered by the CCP because he knew too much. Briefly, start that story. We'll finish it. What happened to the chairman of H&A when you warned the world, hey, they're going to start killing these guys or throw them in prison because they know too much? They know all the facts. And they can make Wan Xishan, they can make Xi, they can make the Deng Xiaoping family, the 5 families that run this thing that have targeted America, that they're going to start either killing these guys or putting them in prison because they're afraid of what they say. What happened to the H&A chairman?
H&A is the buy in out. 90% the deal is a fund, is Blackstone, Steve Schuman. 90%. How much money this stole the Chinese Bank of China, the Lao Baixing, is more than $100 billion. That's why America, Blackstone, Wall Street is the criminal. Stole the Chinese money. There's money laundering. Steve Schuman, Blackstone, sir. That's true. Why America nobody investigation? My husband, too many people corruption. Nobody want to know the truth. That's by social media, they control everybody. Don't want you know the truth. Why one group, by in the out, Hilton Group, and the Deutsche Bank, bigger property, China inside, outside, 90% make the deal from Blackstone, Steve Schuman. There's one Qisan friend. They control all the Wall Street, but no American investigation, no criminal. Do you believe this? That's too ridiculous. Then Steve Kimbano built the wall. You are just a consultant. $1 million, they arrest you. That's too ridiculous. H&A, unbound in America. Many money laundering, many corruption. Why nobody investigation, sir?
Miles, hang on for 1 second. Appreciate the kind words. We're going to end with we're going to come out with your song. We ask you to stay with us. We're going to bring you back at 11 o'clock as we get Mayor Giuliani seated.
Follow me and I'ma set us free. Take down the CCP. Take down the CCP. Take down the CCP. Communism's dead to me because it killed our families. The CCP.
这是你我维护正义的必须，这是你我维护正义的必须。
Take down the CCP. Take down the CCP. Take down the CCP. Follow me and I'ma set us free. Take down the CCP. Take down the CCP. Take down the CCP. Communism's dead to me because it killed our families. The CCP.
你完了，共产党！你完了，共产党！你完了，共产党！你完了。
The hottest new razor is taking the men's grooming world by storm. And if you don't have it, you need it. Micro Touch Solo, the hyper-advanced full-body razor that trims, shapes, edges, and even shaves with micro precision. And it's totally safe to the touch. Go solo for full body control with one tool. No nicks, bumps, or ingrown hairs. Edge beards and goatees with one touch. Clean your neck, barber shop perfect. And check this out. Snap on the guide to tame growth and perfectly shape your full beard. And keep new growth stubble trimmed exactly to your style. And look, the Solo Full Body Groomer trims precisely the length of hair you want. Snap off the guide and remove unwanted hair anywhere in seconds. What makes Solo different than your ordinary razor? Dual-sided German stainless steel blade. Shave up or down at 200 microstrokes per second. The Ultra Flex pivoting head contours perfectly to you for precise results. 3 custom grooming guides for control of exact length and shape. And a built-in LED light so you never miss a spot. Solo is so precise, you need no creams, no soaps, and no water. Ditch the old man clippers and toss the scissors.
You've got to go solo. Call 1-800-709-9777 or go online at microtouchsolo.com and get yours now for only $19.99. Complete with German stainless steel blade, pivoting head, built-in spotlight, and 3 custom grooming guides. Everything you see here for just $19.99. The all-new MicroTouch Solo Full Body Groomer. The one tool that does it all.